What is up, Gemini? How are you guys doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the second week of November. It's flying by so fast. I don't even remember what week to say it is and what month it is. November week 2. If any of you need a personal reading, if you want, you can go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. I have a link for that right down here in the description of this video. We are running our Black Friday sale all November long. We got sales on Zoom calls, general personal readings, and full pre-recorded personal readings. You can read up all about the sales we're running this month on my website. Link is in the description. All right, let's see how the energy's looking. How's the energy looking between Gemini and the person they dealing with in the second week of November? How's it looking, universe? Boom. Ooh, 3 of Pentacles reversed. Hang on. Boom, World card reversed. Uh-oh. I think somebody is contemplating whether or not to reach out and maybe get closure. I don't know. We got the World card reversed here, so I don't know why they're contemplating reaching out, but they're not coming forward. I'm going to have to see what they want here in a minute because let me double check before I say what I'm about to say. The only cups I have on the table is the 9 of Cups reversed. So that's the codependency card. Other than that, I can't, just by looking at this spread right here, I have no idea why the hell this person would be contemplating. Like, and when I say contemplating, I mean they know exactly what they want to say to you. Exactly what they would want to say. But for some reason, they're too nervous to say it. So, real strong connection here, though, too. Real strong connection. And yes, they feel it, too. No, you're not making that up in your head. Yes, they do. Anytime somebody takes up space in your head like that, it's never random, it's never an accident, and they feel it too. Yes, they do. So I know there's some of you thinking you're just making it up in your head. No, you're not. No, you're not. All right, well, let's get to the good shit, or at least what I think is the good shit. Their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. The main thing I'm looking for is like what their energy looks like in general, you know, what kind of person they are. Let's see this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. Oop, that card yelled at me. It fell in the deck. All right. See? They got feelings for you, but they don't know whether or not it would be worth the work, the energy, and the effort to try to pursue this. They haven't moved on from this. Oh no. And I honestly think deep down at the deepest level, they would actually like to reconcile. But they're trying to like be logical about it. You know, they're really starting to like lose hope and develop kind of a negative outlook. And I think they're just really kind of leaning into logic over emotion. You know, this is more than likely going to be a waste of time. especially those of you who have been on and off. The more times you've been on and off with this person, the less faith that they have in the success or longevity. So, okay. But not wanting to be one to take action or make a move. So, let's get some advice. What's the advice for Gemini? What's the advice for Gemini, universe? Hermit. Uh-oh. Oh. Some of y'all just need to lay low for a little bit. Some of you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is telling me that some of y'all need to lay low just a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what and what not to do. I'm going to tell you this. If you absolutely just have to communicate with this person, it's going to have to be you that does it. I'm not going to tell you not to. All I'll tell you is that if you do, I promise you, you will repeat the cycle. Not only will you repeat the cycle, but it's going to get harder next time. The more times you repeat the cycle, the harder it gets to break it. Those of you who choose to take this time to lay low, go in hermit mode, spend time reflecting, extracting wisdom, and integrating wisdom into your path moving forward, boy, y'all gonna be leveling up big time. Big ass blessings are on the way. Big ol' ass blessings, boy, I'm gonna tell you what. But I'm not gonna tell you what you should and shouldn't do, because at the end of the day, if you just walk away from this situation for no reason other than I told you to, you're gonna go through this again with the next person you meet. That's not the universe picking on you, you know? Believe it or not, some people literally think the universe is picking on them. No, we all go through that shit. I don't care who you are. Don't care what your sign is. I don't care how spiritually awake you think you are. I don't care your religion, your ethnicity, your race, religion, sexuality, spiritual beliefs. I don't give a fuck. You will continue to loop around and keep repeating the same experiences until you learn everything you need to learn to rise above it. Okay? Hang on. Didn't I see a super chat a minute ago? Yes, I did. Big Blue Babaloo. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. So I guess just take that information and do with it what you will. I think most of you that follow me, though, have already learned. Most of you that follow me have learned everything you needed to learn. So I think the majority of you, you got some big old ass blessings headed your way. All right. Let's see how the energy's looking for the singles. How's the energy looking for the single Geminis? Anything good coming in? Anything bad coming in? Anything new coming in? Anything old coming in? Anything coming in at all? Well, there's definitely somebody that has feelings for you. I don't know if they're taking action, though. Yeah, this is interesting. So I am thinking that there is somebody that does want to be in a relationship with you, but it doesn't really look like, this is real confusing. There's all this back and forth energy here. At first, it looks like they're coming forward, you know, but then it's almost like there's confusion, maybe mixed signals, maybe, you know, fucked up, confusing communication, maybe not direct communication. Some of you, this could turn into a start quick, end quick type of thing, just because, I mean, good God, communication looks terrible here. Terrible. Some of you, maybe this person, maybe they're just not really mature enough to be able to handle their feelings, you know? That's way too scattered and sporadic and all over the fucking place. I mean, it's really difficult, honestly, to read for a big mass audience of people and throw one big blanket over it that can give a useful message to hopefully everybody that hears it. But sometimes the messages coming through are just all over the place. And that's what kind of leads me to believe that there's a bunch of little subgroups of you that all need to hear different messages. That's tough. I'm trying to figure out how to throw a blanket over this. I think there's somebody that's interested in you, and they may not be emotionally mature enough to handle or even really express how they feel. Some of you, it could kind of like turn into a situationship type thing. I guess for others of you, it could turn into a start quick, end quick type thing. But it doesn't really look like it's taking liftoff and making it to happily ever after status. Not really. Let's see what, I want to dig this person's feelings, energies, and intentions up. Yes, I think this is somebody that you know for the majority of you. And I think those of you who resonate with this message already know who I'm talking about. If you don't already immediately know who I'm talking about, this either isn't your message or this is somebody who is interested in you in secret. Which I could see that. You see that a lot. What's their feelings, energies, and intentions? 7 of Cups reversed. Knight of Cups. Page of Wands, yeah. Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups. I mean, it looks to me like they want to be with you. Seems like they really mean well, honestly. And this is where it gets real slippery, dude. This is like the slipperiest slope in the history of slippery slopes, where they mean well. They have good intentions, but they're just way too insecure and immature. And I don't say those things condescendingly. I don't mean that this person's a bad person. I don't think they are. I really don't. But if you're insecure and or immature, you're not at a place to be able to lay a foundation with anyone, no matter what your intentions are, no matter what they are. They're very guarded too. Very guarded, like I said, very insecure and immature, dude. We got all these knights and pages. All knights and pages. Knight, knight, page, page, page. Emperor reversed. Extremely immature. Extremely. How much time we got? Okay. Well, shit. So then that's when I say that's slippery, what I mean is knowing that they have good intentions. What are you going to do with that? When I give intentions, there's only one reason why I do that. And that is to give you the opportunity to make the most well-educated decision that you possibly can as to whether or not you want to put up with bullshit. You know? Just because somebody has good intentions doesn't mean they're always doing good things. Just because somebody has bad intentions does not mean that they're always doing bad things. So where are you willing to draw the line? That's the question. Are you willing to put up with some bullshit as long as their intentions are in the right place? That's the question. And that's totally up to you. Let's get the advice. King of Pentacles. Well, I tell you what. Of course, you know all the other regular talking points. Don't be afraid to walk away from something that doesn't feel right. Yada, yada. Yeah, okay. Well, I want to expand on one that I hit on a lot, but don't really dig it up. So you know how I talk a lot about confusion? There should be no confusion. You shouldn't be confused about someone's feelings, intentions, or whether or not you can trust them. So what do we do when we find ourselves at a place where there is some confusion? This is where I think we need to dig into this situation. Because when you're dealing with somebody like that who is a poor communicator, they have insecurities, they're immature, you're going to start getting pretty fucking confused. It's just going to happen by default. Even if they have the best fucking intentions in the world. So how do we work through confusion? Be sure the two of you can communicate. First of all, do the best you can, and it's not all on you. You can't make this happen, but do the best you can to try to let it be known that this person is totally safe and free to open up and express themselves without judgment around you. They need to know that. They also need to know that you're not really going to put up with poor communication. Let it be known. Be cool about it. Be polite about it. You know? If there's some kind of communication issue and you got a problem with it, let it be known. Well, I quit texting you because I'm not allowed to have my phone at work. Well, why didn't you tell me that? You can't tell me that? Like we're sitting here texting, whoop, 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 and then all of a sudden you just poof, disappear. How hard would it have been for you to say, hey, I got to clock in at 9 and I'm not allowed to have my phone in that building at all. I have to leave it in the car. You can't tell me that? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Communication. You know, if you can't communicate like a mature adult, you're just going to stop communicating and think that, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that communication is on point between the two of you. And if you're doing everything you can to try to improve communication and everything else under the book, and there's still confusion, then that's when you walk away. Let your concerns be known, but if your concerns are not addressed, or if you just start getting the idea that maybe this person's just not capable of alleviating your concerns, then that's when you have to ask yourself, well, am I willing to just put up with this bullshit my whole life, waiting for this person to grow up and mature, potentially them never growing up and maturing? Don't be afraid to walk away from something confusing, but put forth the effort to alleviate confusion. All right, at least try to sort through it when it arises, okay? Or for those of you who just are not fucking interested in this person, don't be afraid to tell them no, fuck off. That's what a lot of people need to learn how to do, man. A lot of people need to learn the power of the fuck off. If I want you to leave me alone and you ain't taking the hint, fuck the fuck off, okay? If I set boundaries and you ain't trying to respect that, you can fuck the fuck off. A lot of people need to learn how to tell people to fuck off. You know, you can be spiritual and still tell people to fuck off. It's okay. So, all right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. And we're running our Black Friday sale all November. And you can read up on all the sales that we have on all the different readings that I have to offer on my website. The link is in the description. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.